Man, what is going on, you guys? Welcome to today's video. It's Sunday, and today we are starting on the 1.8T finally. Already kind of started with the intake manifold we painted, but today just about everything needs to come off the engine, all the accessories here, the belt, the timing stuff. Got to pull off the turbo, the exhaust manifold, this pipe stuff here, and just pretty much gut the entire thing down to hopefully just a block in the head. Got to clean everything, see what we want to paint, probably paint the block black, paint the head silver like we did before, and then maybe today we'll start building it back up and how far we get. But yeah, we are finally starting on the 1.8T. Like I said, you look down here, it's pretty gross down there. It's not terrible. The OEM paint, like the black, looks to be in good shape. A lot of times in the VRs, it kind of like flakes off, but this one, actually, like factory paint, looks to be in pretty good shape, which is nice. So we might get away with just cleaning the block and be good to go. And the head itself too looks pretty silver. So like I said, sometimes it like flakes off and it's all crusty, but this one actually looks to be in pretty decent shape. So we might look out, which would be super nice. But yeah, mounted I go because we won't need it for the Mark III. All this coming off, all of this mess over here coming off. Just get it gutted, cleaned, and maybe start the rebuild process today. All right, so step one is going to be clean off all this area here. So I have a nice little workspace for all the pieces to go from here right to here. We don't lose anything, keep track of all of our stuff. Got to move this and move this stand out of the way. And honestly, half this stuff, I'm not sure what it is. I think this is the old coolant ball out of the BR5. No, actually, this is from the Pink Floyd, I think, and like the rain tray and the wiper mechanism, all kind of stuff. So gonna move everything out of here, get a nice clean workspace, and then we can start tearing down this girl right here.
Baby, it's whatever. All this ever about you long gone, it don't matter. Ride or die, that's been the deal. The light of your body got disappear. But if it don't play that for me, I'm out of it, I'm out of it. I lick my gun and then I'm done. I'm out of it, I'm out of it. No man to tell me you know.
So I kind of just moved my mess from one spot to another spot, but we'll deal with that at a later time. This right here will be our nice little work spot for the 1.8T. Got some cardboard down in case any oil leaks. Catch it there. All the tools we'll need, some light, and I think it's time, boys. Time for some teardown. So I think the plan of attack is going to be start on the left side here, remove the accessories and that kind of stuff, then move to the top of the valve cover, then come over to this front right section and deal with this gigantic mess of everything physically possible, and then we'll go to the back side and get the turbo and the exhaust manifold off. And that's pretty much it. And then hopefully once all that's off, we can see how dirty the block actually is. And I'm really hoping that that factory paint's in good shape, and we just clean it, and then it's pretty much good to go. Like I said, overall, the engine itself looks to be in fairly good shape. Not too many miles on it. It ran great before, so hopefully this is a very straightforward tear down, rebuild back up, and get it in the car. All right, my friend, are you ready? Yeah. For engine tear down? I said it should be very simple. Right to the VR6s, there's not near as much stuff, and it's a much smaller package, so shouldn't be too difficult. So first step shall be to take off our belt here, which is our tensioner right up top. Probably just put a vice grip on this, and if you pull that way, it'll pull the tension off. I can pull the belt off. Give her a nice yank on there. Got it? All right, keep it like that. Pull this off. Give me. All right, step one, belt removal, done. Cool, now we can go ahead and pull the tensioner off and get to this stuff through here. I'm gonna pull this mount up as well. It's 16s, I think. We'll grab a 16. We'll knock off the mount, so we don't need this anymore. Then we can get to like the cover and stuff, and all of our timing stuff is on this side of the engine. All right, give her a yeet. You got 3. Bottom one, this one, that one. I think it's 16. Yeah? Or 15? All right, give her a yeet. That's tightening it.
Oh, you're right, you're right.
Other way. There it is.
That's not that tight.
Okay. The next one. Nice. And bottom one. I believe that's all of them. You're on there. Not bad. Now we can swap to the impact and just blast them off real fast. Blast her off. Not come all the way out. Out of the bracket.
Okay,
that should be out, yeah. Voila. No more bracket. Yeah, one on the very bottom, this one, and that one on the top right there, yep. There it is. keep track of this one because this holds this little bracket right here. You don't want to lose that. I believe this is a feed line or a water line to the turbo, I think. Possibly. All right, well, first casualty of today, the plastic inside this line. It goes, one of the coolant lines that goes to the turbo, I believe. The plastic kind of disintegrated, so that's gone. But that's a simple little fitting to replace. Yeah, this thing just like, this plastic on here just like falls apart. So
It's also cold, so
yeah, all brittle. So that's off, but the bracket should come off now. Bam, tensioner is out. Keep all it together. Now we can get to alternator, compressor, power steering, and that kind of stuff. Once this is out of the way, pull off our accessory bracket here, and then move on to the timing covers and like the water pump and stuff, and this section right here.
I'm brushing away to you, the weight of you, of my shoulders. Done with my cigarette, and when all the smoke is clear, I'm brushing away to you, the weight to you, the weight to you. Don't need a no man.
We are making some good progress so far. You can see our pile over here. We've got alternator, AC compressor, tensioner, power steering pump, and throttle body off. Also the accessory bracket right here. And we can move up to here, and then this dreaded mess. Like, there's just so much stuff going on over here. It's ridiculous, but like oil cooler, oil filter, and then you got like whatever that is back there, and then just tons of vacuum and coolant hose, I think. There's so much stuff right in this area. I can't wait to clean up like almost all of that. But the block itself, again, is looking pretty clean. There's some a lot of grime through here, but the factory paint, like I said, is looking pretty good. So before we go ahead and actually pull off this pulley, we're gonna make sure the engine's in TDC first, which you can see that right now the notch is right there on the very bottom. We need to line up with this one right here in the lower cover. We're gonna pull off the upper cover here, make sure our cams are lined up as well. And then once that's all lined up, then we can take this off and pull all this stuff out of here. Because as we have all this apart, we're also gonna retime the engine, putting all new tensioners, new belt, all that kind of stuff. So wanna go ahead and set up for that right now. Oh, there it is. Voila, so upper cover out of the way. We're going to rotate the bottom one till it lines up. And then if this isn't lined up yet, where the mark is right there, you can see the little line. So we're gonna rotate this one to line up here until this is lined up with that mark right up top. That way we know we're in TDC. We can go through and pull all the old timing stuff off. All right, crank her around. So you can see right there, so go just a little tiny bit right there. So this one, our time mark's at the bottom. So go ahead and go around again. Probably one more turn. When it comes back around to here, this should be lined up to the top right there. Got a good compression in there. All right, so timing mark is right here coming around. So go nice and slow. Right, a little more. Perfect, and perfect. So we're lined up down here. You can see the top mark on the cover and the mark on the crank right there. Nice and lined up. And then, so it actually marked it before. You can see the white line they did. So that's marked with that one. So we know the engine is now currently in time. We can pull this off, pull the bottom cover off. We won't retime it today, but come tomorrow, coming soon, once everything else is done in the engine, we'll time everything back up and then get all put back together. So thankfully, all these came out no problem. Nothing stripped, so go ahead and pull that pulley off there. Voila. So now we can go ahead and pull off this lower cover, all these 10s, there, and there. And we can pull all the timing stuff out of there, and then come tomorrow, come back and get everything timed up. I did bring nail polish down right here, so we can go ahead and mark the belt and the pulley up here, this one, and then we'll mark down here as well. That way tomorrow we know exactly where the belt needs to be. And we'll put the water pump in tomorrow and the rest of the timing stuff and have all that done. Voila. Lower cover be gone. Look at that. Fancy stuff. Fancy stuff. Not a VR6, but fancy stuff. So I went ahead and painted 2 marks on the top right there, and then 1 down the bottom. That one, this belt's off. We can put it side by side next to our new belt, count all the teeth, make new marks, and make sure our new belt goes on the exact same spot as our old one. That way we're not like a tooth out and have any issues. So now that's done, we can go ahead and pull this one off, the water pump, pull the belt out, and then for right now, timing wise, we're done. All right, so step 1 shall be to remove this guy right here, the first tensioner. Now, when I watched Paul's video from Deutsche Auto Parts, This is supposed to be like 35 newton meters, but his was on crazy tight. So we've got my cheater bar. We have our Allen. This is the 8mm. We'll see how tight mine is gonna be. Make sure it's in there nice and snug. I don't want to strip anything out. Good Lord. Oh, whoo! Yeah, a little bit more than 35 newton meters if I had to say so myself, but good grief. Oh, and they're just a little bit too tight for my liking. But we got it. So now once we pull this off, the belt will get loose, which is why we painted it. That way tomorrow when I put the new timing stuff back on, we know exactly where the belt should go and there's no timing issues. All right, there goes that. So this whole thing's coming out. Voila, there's our first tensioner. And I just lost the washer. But I found it, we're good. So we'll keep that all one piece. There's a lot of Loctite on there. This thing's in there quite well. So next we'll pull out this one, which looks to be 1, 2, 3, so 13 and 2 10s, I believe. Let me see if this will take it off. Let's see how tight these ones are. Oh, not a 13? Really? It's not a 13. Is it a 12? Why is it a 12? For what reason is it a 12? That's very strange. All right, random 12. Okay. Okay. My impact should be able to do that. That wasn't that tight. There's our first one. And then we got 2 10s right here. There's one. And one down at the bottom. We've done it. And that's gone forever. No, I found it. We're good. We're good. All right, second, this is the hydraulic tensioner. So that one is now out. And now we can do our water pump. We'll pull the belt out of the way. Make sure I don't smear my paint marks. So that's good to go. We'll save that. And the water pump looks to be 3 10s as well. Probably gonna be some coolant out of this. Let me just prepare. Let me prepare for this. Okay, I'm prepared. For the first time ever, I'm prepared. And it's on there pretty good. Flathead. Give her a little persuasion here. Hopefully not to crack anything. There we go. There it is, there it is. Look at that. No. Woo! I caught it, we're good. Almost lost it, boys. Almost a gigantic mess, but we're good. This one has metal. So, I mean, I wasn't sure what this car had. It looks like someone's been in here before to change it at some point. I don't know when, but well, the engine of the car, might as well do all the basic stuff, timing, water pump, those kind of things. That way we know exactly where the car is at and what's been done. Look at that. We are looking pretty bare on this side, off to a great start. Also want to note, I pulled off the bolt, the 12 off this little roller guide. That stays with the hydraulic tensioner. This one does not need to come off. I wasn't sure if it went all the way through and actually bolted up into the block, but it does not. It just bolts up to this, so this one can stay. It's just the 2 10s, this one and that one that hold this on. So at this point, since it's getting very cold outside, we're gonna split up. She's gonna take the front mess up here. I'm gonna work on the back side and get this thing finished off. Like so you can see exhaust manifold needs to come off. Turbo, we have this line here. And I gotta figure out how all this stuff kind of goes together. There's a coupler right there, and then a bracket that holds this pipe on, and then just like all this mess and the valve cover. I'm gonna pull the coil packs and the spark plugs out. It's just like a mess up here. Like this side's pretty clean on these things, but like this side is just, there's so many like just hoses and vacuum lines everywhere. But we'll get it knocked out, get it cleaned up, and hopefully have a bare 1.8T by the end of the night.
You had to go back where you came from, now you're bitter. Out of sight, out of mind for real. Yeah, I wouldn't wanna be you for real. But if you don't play that for me, I'm out of it, I'm out of it. I lick my gun and then I'm done. I'm out of it, I'm out of it. No man to tell me you're no good. I'm brushing away, do you, the weight of you of my shoulder. Done with my cigarette, and when all the smoke is clear, I'm brushing away to you, the weight of you, the weight of you. Don't need a no man.
Let me see it. Holy crap, the biggest rat's nest of everything possible.
We kept it together, so it's nice.
Yeah, you got it for one piece. That was good.
I just have to get.
I think so far we've only broken this plastic fitting in there, and on the back side, doing pretty good. I got wherever one of the intake pipes over there, and right now I just got the last one for the actual intake. I think is off now. Yeah, look at that. So intake to N75 valve, diverter valve, and then a bunch of vacuum lines that go literally all over the place. But this will stay as one piece. A lot of this stuff will transfer over to the new silicone intake we have. We'll put that right over there for now. And now with that out of the way, I can get back to, where's it at? Oh, that one. That 13 there, get the rest of this little heat shield out of the way and do the rest of the exhaust bolts. Actually, I think I have to do these three up top and disconnect the manifold from the turbo, because to get to like that one or that one that's way back in there, the turbo has to be out of the way. There's no way you can get to it. So heat shield out of the way, get these three, turbo will drop off. I believe everything's off already. We got everything down here, I think. Oh, there's a little bracket there. Okay, get that one out of the way. But the oil drain line is off. This is a coolant line that goes to the turbo as well. That is also off. This bracket here for another coolant line, that's off. Making good progress. Got the coil pack harness out of the way, and just slowly going through a lot of stuff. It's not too bad once you start learning things go, but when you first look at it, I mean, there's just a lot of stuff. Like this is such a nightmare stuff. And I have the SAI delete kit, so I'm not sure what all goes away, but I'm hoping like majority of that never has to go back on the engine, because it's just a mess. There's still a mess on here. So many things. This looks a bit beat up. One hose I had somewhere, this one, you can see inside there, I pulled it off of that one, I think, but a lot of that was broken. So I have a bunch of new fittings as well, and I have spare hoses, so I have to go through and to see what's all, you know, crusty, what's all broken, and then get it all fixed and build back up. But she's looking pretty good so far. So we just got this massive piece that goes all the way down to all of this stuff. So this is, I want to say this is fuel. No, this isn't fuel. This is like there's all the secondary air stuff. This goes to the throttle body, right onto, I want to say that fitting there, I believe it is. Yeah, that goes to there, and then this runs all the way around. This one is to the diverter valve. This one goes to this little box thing that's on top of the valve cover right there, and the rest, one goes off of like the wastegate, I believe. There's just a bunch of stuff like everywhere. And then you can see this other section. This is one of the coolant flanges. This is actually what broke in that one hose, but I have the metal replacement, so that's not a big deal. So we'll save the sensor from this one for the new one, but the fact that it's broke doesn't really matter. So I'll put this with that stuff. And we're getting further into this. Now this is all cleaned up. I want to get this piece out of here. It bounced up to the front somewhere way down there. We can get the coil packs out, pull the valve cover off, And I'm trying to figure out how to get this last bolt for the turbo off. I'm not sure how to get to that one. The socket fits, but it's kind of too tall and the wrench doesn't fit in there. So got to figure that out. But we're just about there. Once this is off, a few more things in the front. Almost there. Here's what you got. So this is where one of the coolant flanges. We'll replace that.
This is the line you need to take out.
Oh, I see.
Connected to that.
That's that hard line comes through. I'd assume, let me see. Is there a bracket over here? Is that part of that? Or I can't tell.
No,
It's all
it's
loose.
just sitting on it.
It looks like this will just pop straight
Actually-
out that way.
Actually, I think it is hooked. This is hooked over.
Is it okay? So there's probably like one. Yeah, it's the bolt down there. So one bolt there, and I think this whole thing will pop straight that way. Yeah, I assume it's like a mini crack pipe. The VR6 has like the big one. This one's got this little tiny one. Yeah, straight through there. You can see where the thermostat sits up in there. So a fun fact, just use a smaller ratchet than it fits in here, and you're good. But I think we're ready for the whole turbo to come off. This one's off. These are all off, and then the one from the oil cooler in the front just came off. So I think that's everything. I hope. There's way too many lines on this thing, but not too bad. Any minute now. Yes, okay, let's see. Did we get everything? Okay. Can you feed that line from the front? I think it's from this side.
Doubtful. I'm gonna be honest.
Can't tell where it's at. There you go. What's up over here? Nope. Great success.
Oh,
Look at that little-
it looks like a little alien
Little baby turbo. Little baby turbo.
for like Weenie Hut Jr.
Little KO3S. Look at these lines. So oil feed line, oil drain line, coolant line, I guess coolant drain line, I'm assuming, or maybe vice versa, but wow, so fancy. So fancy.
You're leaking coolant all over the floor.
It's fine.
Yeah.
All I have now is the exhaust manifold, and how's the front looking? Pretty bare.
I'm
So
about it.
coolant or oil stuff, and that's
Yeah, I'm about to take this bracket off, and then we can take this hard line off
look at us go.
right here, and then that should be everything in the front besides the oil filter.
So front of the engine is done. I'm gonna leave the oil cooler and this housing on for right now, because I want to go through and clean all this stuff out of here, and I don't want it falling down inside the engine. So for now, this can all stay, and also the crank sensor, because there's just a bunch of gunk all through here. But that should be everything off the front. I went through and got all the 10s that hold on the valve cover here, and I think that is the last little bit, and she'll be completely done for today. We can pop this off until it looks inside. But this side's all empty, front's all empty, timing side's good to go, and back side is also good to go. Like I said, I'm very happy with how clean the block is. A nice little wipe down, and all the original paint looks to still be on there, which is awesome. Not in bad shape at all. There she is, the final piece for today, the valve cover, which I missed that one, and that one. I can figure out why it's so hard to get off, but now we know there's the outside ones around the whole thing, and there's 3 on the inside that attach to those studs there. But looking pretty clean there. Got that nice coppery oil look to it, but not too bad. So this is done. Our final piece of today. Look at that. Just a whole bunch of 1.8T parts. Nice and gutted. Not bad. Not too bad. So I'm gonna pull off this old gasket, and then come tomorrow, we got a lot of cleaning to do. And then maybe towards the end of the day tomorrow, after all the cleaning's done, we can do we'll start reassembling, retime it, all the new pieces. And then probably by Tuesday, Wednesday, have it possibly all together. I'm still waiting for the injector cup seals to come from my intake manifold. I need those, and maybe a few other things here and there that I might have missed. But for the most part, this week, this thing should be complete and ready to go. So I think this will end for today. Not a bad start to the engine. Completely torn down, got everything I wanted off of it. I do want to pull the oil pan off and check the pickup, make sure there's no like debris and stuff inside there, and probably do no oil pan gasket as well. But as for like this section, we're looking pretty good. How's your well, mine and your both first 1.8T? How you thinking so far? You like it?
Yeah, it was fun.
Not a VR6, but you know, not too bad. Very simple to work on, very small. this tiny little thing. I mean, the VR6 is fairly small, but like, this thing just seems like where's the rest of it? It just seems like it's very, very tiny, but not too bad. I do like how the timing's on this side and not on the trans side, which is cool. So we'll dive more into this tomorrow, get it cleaned up, get some stuff painted, and hope at the end of the week have it all back as one unit. So with that, gonna end the video here. Hope you guys are beyond stoked for the 1.8T progress. It feels good to finally tear into this thing. Do not forget, be thankful for every single day. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.